Welcome to the Vere Latimer estate in the Buckinghamshire countryside. Today it's a luxury hotel, but back in 1942 the guests weren't here for a weekend break. They were German prisoners of war, and this grand estate was known as the Spy House. These German prisoners never knew that they were being tricked into divulging Hitler's most closely guarded secrets. Come with me underground to the cellars beneath this house as we discover the espionage world of the secret listeners. In the 17th century, Latimer House was the home of the Cavendish family. During the Second World War, it became one of the most important espionage sites run by British intelligence. It was here that thousands of German prisoners of war came alongside some of Hitler's top generals. The prisoners were brought daytime or at night in closed vans, and they were taken to a specially constructed area at the far end of the estate. But for Hitler's generals, they would be staying in the house itself. There were even rumours that Rudolf Hess was here. This very clever wartime operation was the brainchild of this man, Thomas Kendrick. He was an MI6 spy master who had been running spy networks right across Europe. Like the German businessman Oskar Schindler, Kendrick saved thousands of Jews. Here at Latimer House in wartime, he knew that if you treated Hitler's generals like prisoners of war, they would behave like prisoners of war. They wouldn't give anything away. So Kendrick devised an entirely different plan. What was he up to? The generals were given a phony interrogation, and unlike the other prisoners, they were brought to a lovely room in the main house. Today, it's a luxury hotel. Kendrick even went so far as to create a fake aristocrat, Lord Aberfeldy. And it was his job to befriend the generals, to make them feel very relaxed in their surroundings. But in fact, he was an intelligence officer, Ian Munro. So what was Kendrick doing here? What plan had he devised? There are just 4 words for this. The walls had ears. Here we are in the secret tunnel. I've been given exclusive access to this area. And this is an original World War II cell. From 1941 to 1945, down here there were tons of hidden microphones, and they were all wired back to the M room. The M room, which stood for Mic Room, was where the secret listeners were based with their special equipment, and here they were recording the conversations of the German prisoners as well as Hitler's generals. But surely they had to speak fluent German. Well, in fact they did, because the secret listeners were German Jews who'd fled Nazi Germany, like Fritz Lustig. These secret listeners recorded thousands of snippets of information which was so valuable for the war effort. Oh wow, look at this down here. It's really extensive. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be down here. Kendrick actually placed a U-boat commander with a German Air Force officer, and it was hoped that they would talk about their war, that they would inadvertently give up pieces of information. Amazing. Yeah. This was a very secret world, and this was bugging on an unprecedented scale. The King's Walk here was ideal to take a German general for a casual stroll. an intelligence officer would be chatting to him and inadvertently trying to get that general to spill a few secrets. The general, of course, didn't realise that the bushes and the trees had hidden microphones. To give you an idea of just how significant Latimer House was for the outcome of the Second World War, I'm going to tell you the story of the V1 flying bomb, 2 paratroopers and a German general. The V1 flying bomb, or Doodlebug, was part of Hitler's secret weapon programme. On the 11th of March 1943, 2 German paratroopers were brought to a cell like this in the tunnels under Latimer House. They boasted to each other how they hadn't told the British about the site in Germany where these weapons were being developed. This placed British intelligence on high alert, and we received vital information about the V1 programme. And one of the most important prisoners ever to be brought to Latimer House was this man, General Dornberger. He was in charge of the whole of Hitler's secret weapon programme, the V1 and even the V2 rocket. It was hoped that Lord Aberfeldy would charm him into giving away those secrets with whiskey, wine and fine food. And Dornberger did. As a direct result of this intelligence, Winston Churchill authorised Operation Crossbow, and it would lead to the bombing of this secret site Peenemünde in Germany. And this would knock out Hitler's secret weapon development programme for at least 9 months. The first V1 didn't land on London until June 1944. This was later described as war-winning intelligence. If Germany had managed to get that V1 operational so much earlier, it could have cost us the war. Germany could have won the technological war. Oh, it's so dark down here. Oh, and a bit eerie, a bit uneven on the surface. And gosh, look at this. That's extraordinary, that spider's web. That's actually not why we're here. We're here to see something in this direction. Oh, this is the area I wanted to show you. The truth about Latimer House is still shrouded in secrecy. When the estate was sold by the Ministry of Defence in the 1980s, there was a clause added that this wall behind me could not be touched for 50 years. There is a secret tunnel and we don't know where it leads to. But now that 50-year contract has been extended again, so we still won't know about the mystery that lies behind. Before I leave today, I'd like to raise a glass of fine whiskey to the teams of MI5 and MI6 who worked here tirelessly and helped the Allies to win World War II. Cheers. What happened here during World War II is now recognised as significant as the Enigma code-breaking at Bletchley Park. It is now time for the De Vere Latimer estate to step into the limelight.